Hello, 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 hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to stream. Welcome. It is Thursday, the 24th of July. We are here. We are live. Everything is bombing and happening. Gyokeres medicals are happening right now or gonna be happening soon. Mosquera has been announced as an Arsenal player. Eze potentially could be joining Arsenal according to rumors, but go figure if those are true. We are obviously going to cover all that. And of course, on top of all that, Alexander Isak wants to leave Newcastle. Obviously, the dream scenario, Arsenal drop their 2 cents into the hat and throw their hat in the business and go for Isak, actually, but I don't see that happening, unfortunately. That is the sad part, basically. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. But yeah, for today, we have scheduled set. We have Gyokeres, Mosquera, Isak, Eze, and some bits and bobs here or there. So smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. We are slowly going towards the big 900, just achieved the 800. We're already going towards 900. And leave your thoughts down in the live chat regarding your team you support, whether it's Arsenal, Newcastle, Chelsea, Accrington, Stanley. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below, what you think, how you feel, and all that good stuff about your team, about the window, and everything that is going on. Big up, Pasul. Big up. Hope you're doing well. I'm good. I'm good. It's hella hot, but I can manage. Let's just put it that way. Hopefully you are doing well as well today, my guy. What player rating would you give the Arsenal players that started, not on the bench, just players that started and what they could improve on? If you mean the first half specifically against AC Milan, Ethan gets a... Well, it's very hard to judge in 45 minutes because everyone's still very fresh. Obviously, it's preseason, but I'm just going to... Saka gets a 6. Ethan gets a 6 or 7, 6.5. Havertz gets a 2. Martinelli gets, 2. Who else was playing? Norgard gets a 6. Saliba and all these guys, rest of them also standard 6 or 7s basically, besides Havertz and besides, of course, Martinelli. Otherwise, it is what it is. Let's go. Mosquera in the Sky Sports just said Gyokeres is doing medicals in London and then he's flying out. Interesting. So Gyokeres might be actually playing against, of course, Spuds. I was looking at tactics, and the issues is that Arsenal have attacking at the back post. And basically, attacking at the back post, mostly that issue is when we attack from the right to the left. And again, that issue is the left wing, left center mid, that side. So left wing, obviously, for me, still is a must in this window. I was supposed to mean that Arsenal don't have players in attack at the back post. They don't, because Martinelli is always late or he gets covered and he doesn't make the necessary runs. Let's just put it that way. Big up, Gavin. Big up, hope you're doing well. Big up, Fasul, once again. Smash the likes, people, if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new. Big up, Dre. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Big up, Manta Silver. Salute. I'm so over this transfer window. I just wanted the United match to come quick. Same. No gonna lie, same. I'm kind of, it's weird because I wanted to watch the first game of the season, preseason. I was at work. I was watching the stream on the phone and everything. And never thought that it would actually trigger in me such a desire for football to be back so badly. I guess it's because the transfer window has been dragged out so long that it's only been open for literally not even 2 months, but it feels like it's been open for 2 years. Basically, the way that Gyokeres saga was going on and everything, what's happening with Arsenal in the transfer window, that it feels too long. And I want football to be back. I want to watch football. I want La Liga to be back, Bundesliga, Serie A, all the leagues to be back because I genuinely want to watch football. Big up, Ash. Hope you're doing well today. The whole team doesn't deserve more than 6. Yeah, I give everyone a 6 or 6. I would give Ethan a 7, potentially 6.5. And of course, Martinelli, Havertz, like those go without question. Let's just put it that way. Big up, Sean. Big up. If they get Isak, Liverpool played Newcastle hard. Yeah, getting their best player and their backup they had in the mind. Yeah, that would be actually kind of insane. If actually Liverpool, there are rumors that FSG have sanctioned 120 to 140 million for Isak instantly. Bang, straight on the table. Obviously, not spending under Klopp too much is actually doing them some big favors at the moment. Of course, as I said, I would love for Arsenal to throw their hat, obviously, into this mix and actually go for Isak. And we could have Isak and Gyokeres, but knowing Arsenal, unfortunately, I don't think that's not going to happen. Let's just put it that way. I want Eze and Nusa. Eze, 100%. Nusa. I can see it. I genuinely can see it 100%. Big up, Hendon. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Hope you're doing well. I like how Rice played D, but also stayed up sometimes. Yeah, 100%. Like, the big thing is about this preseason game, Arsenal were dominant for about 80 to 90% of the time, which is overall, if we look at the picture right now, it seems great. It seems fantastic on the paper, right? And obviously the first preseason game only. Now it will be interesting how we look against Newcastle, how we look against Spurs, and more importantly, when the season kicks off, how we're going to look against Liverpool, City, and all these teams, because that then is going to be the real test. Let's just put it that way. Big up everyone. Everyone's big up everyone. Like, you love to see it. If Liverpool get Isak, they can actually pull a treble. Oh, yeah, that is the big thing. If Liverpool get Isak, there is a very strong argument to suggest that you can basically wrap the season up already to some extent. They could possibly do the quadruple if they achieve it last time. Yeah. And big up, Marlon. Hope you're doing well. Very true. I hope they don't, but the chances are very high. Yeah. That is the big issue. Nostay, yeah, he is underrated. I wouldn't say that to some level. Big up Stockholm, Gooner. Big up Stockholm. Big up Sweden. Hope you're doing well. Our transfer window is not looking bad right now. Now let's get a left winger. Yeah, I can even say that. For me, the transfer window is 4 or 5 out of 10 at the moment. If we manage to get Eze and the left winger, it will be pushed up to like 6. If we get only Eze, it will be somewhere between 5 and 6 potentially, because we still will be sold short no matter how you look at it. Because for me personally, we need about 2-3 players still. A number 10, a left winger, and a left back as well. But overall, it's better window that kind of everyone expected to some extent to be. Obviously, their expectations from Andrea and Berta coming in were very high as well to that point of view. But for me personally, this window is 4 out of 10, maybe 5 out of 10 if you push it. Because still, I need to see outgoings. Because for me, massive reasons how I will judge the transfer window also will be outgoings. And unfortunately, at the moment, we have only signed player-per-player signings. Besides Gyokeres, it has been one player comes in, one player goes out. Kepa for Neto, right? Sterling, Madueke, Norgard, Jorginho, Zubimendi, Partey, Mosquera, Tomiyasu, and all this stuff. Like, we haven't changed that. It's been 1-per-1. We have improved to some extent, maybe, but we haven't improved at all to some extent. And when F Rice trying to recruit, agreed, we should be going for Isak, but we won't. Yes, that is the sad part. Big up Kirtan. Big up. We have a tough start, feeling bad. Isak going to Liverpool, dude. If that is the nuts part. If Isak goes to Liverpool, we have to go to Anfield in the 3rd game of the season. That is gonna be hell on earth. Big up Dio. Big up Dio. Hope you're doing well. The only things that impressed me yesterday were the academy grads, to be honest. Fact. To some extent, only like academy players were fantastic. No matter how you look at it, they're 18, 17, 15. Even if you talk about Max Dauman, they were great for what we expect from them. Saka looked decent. Ben White looked very decent. Norgard was, well, we need to see more, but he wasn't too bad, right? Overall, but yeah, it is weird. It's very, 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 very weird. I guess the defense to cause, I never inkling Milan would score a goal. Yeah, that is the case. We dominated the game for about 80-90% of the time. Everything else was simply average or poor. Yeah, and it was very similar like we played last season. That is the biggest worry at the moment. Maybe if Gyokeres plays up top, something will change. Maybe. But so far, we should actually be playing, even with Havertz up top, right? We should be playing certain tactics and style within the vision that Gyokeres is there instead of Havertz. And we just didn't. We played the same way, which was quite annoying. I'm not going to lie. We already have Gyokeres. Why we need Isak spending... Oh, bloody hell, Marlon. You really want to go there? You really want to go there? We have Gyokeres. Why we need Isak? Are you serious? You want to tell me that by this logic, right? You can go to Man City, right? Man City have Haaland. Why the hell would they need, for example, Marmoush? Why? It's the same logic. You need quality in the team. To some extent, they both can start. Put Isak on the left wing. They both can start. Like, that would be massive quality. I was looking at some video that talked about Arsenal's first game against Milan and said that Rice should come deep, but I think we need Rice to come help Martinelli. This is a very weird situation. Our left side has been screwed up for quite some time right now, and that left side is very, very under massive scrutiny at the moment. And the fact who plays left wing will quite heavily influence who we play as a left eight and how that left eight plays. Obviously, we envision Rice playing there as a left wing. I don't know if it's Eze, whether it's gonna be Madueke or someone, but that will heavily influence that. We have to wait and see, basically. If we play 4-2-3-1 double pivot with Zubimendi and Rice, it's going to look different. If we play 4-3-3 with Rice as an 8 going forward and inverting from the left, as we obviously mostly do, that again will look much different. So we have to wait and see, unfortunately. We need to see which starting 11 Arteta envisions as his main starting 11. Whether if we sign Eze, whether it's Eze, Gyokeres, Saka, whether it's Madueke, Gyokeres, Saka, and maybe Eze in the 10, we will have to wait and see. 4 out of 10 window, truthfully. Yeah. If we sign Isak, for example, like hypotheticals and impossible scenarios, this window goes to 6, 7 out of 10 instantly. Let's be real. That would definitely get the fan base insanely hyped, to say the least. I would be more excited if we got Eze over Gyokeres, because my biggest issue is Odegaard as a creative player. And that is also a very big thing. You know how everyone says Arsenal need a striker, including Arsenal fans, including myself, to be honest. But you cannot deny that even with a striker, Arsenal last season had a massive issue with creating from the midfield. More specifically, creating from the deep in the midfield as well. Because one of the biggest ways because we didn't have any options how to beat mid-low blocks, and that creative part from the midfield was lacking heavily because Partey couldn't do that, Rice cannot do that, and Odegaard, well, the less said than better, let's be real. And maybe Eze with maybe taking the load on himself, and everything, and maybe carrying the ball and everything, that could change some things. That genuinely could change some things in those terms. Just sell Odegaard, yeah. I like when Zinchenko Calafiori changed spot and Calafiori played close to high like Havertz. I think that might work. I don't know. Like Calafiori for me is a center back, and I don't want to see him at left back. Same as Zinchenko. For me, he's a midfielder. I don't want to see him at left back as well. Similarly, like Miles Lewis Skelly, to be honest, he's a midfielder, and I don't want to see him at left back as much. Even though he, despite everything, you could argue is the best left back we have in the team, which is kind of nuts when you think about it. But hey, yeah, I guess it is what it is. Hijack Jorel Hato deal from Chelsea would be ideal. It would be ideal, but that won't happen because Arsenal never operate like that. Let's be real. PSG failed, and now all these players want to go to the world champions. Like, it has a pull. Let's be real. It has a pull because Chelsea showed that they can beat best team that won Champions League and annihilate them. So there will be some pull. Plus, they finished top 4. They have Champions League football. They obviously have money. So to some extent, the world is their oyster as well, if you want to see it that way. Zinchenko only saving grace is if he can play the 8 or the 10. Yeah, 8 or 10, 100%. I agree with you, Vanta. We should definitely go and get Eze. We should, but Eze's biggest key to get the best out of Gyokeres, he releases the ball quicker than Odegaard and plays through the middle. Facts. 100% facts. True, he's a great 8 and 10. Zini only if he played permanently there, he wouldn't have to be in the bin list. Exactly. That is the biggest thing. For me as an Arsenal fan, reason why I am, for example, in Zinchenko's case, because he gets played at left back. And I have to judge him as a left back. There needs to be accountability for that. On Zinchenko to some extent, but mostly on the manager, obviously, as we tend to do it all the time. Because playing players out of position, that is Mikel Arteta's like signature move. And unfortunately, it tends to do more harm than good many times as well. Could Victor Gyokeres play against Newcastle? On Sunday? Depends when he flies there. Maybe as a sub, maybe. As a starter, definitely not. Eze, Odegaard, Sol, please go. We should offer Newcastle, Zinchenko, Lokonga, Vieira, Kivior, Nelson, Trossard, Gabriel Jesus. Plus, do you want the whole squad for plus 75 for Isak? That is insane thing to offer, I'm not going to lie. Because overall value of all those players plus 75 million, let's just look at it that way. 20, about 10, that's 50, 75, 95, let's just say 5, that's 10. 100, 120. So you want to offer 195 million for Isak? Like, that sounds insane. If we were truly balling, we would buy Isak and Gyokeres instead of Havertz and Jesus healing our wage bill. Facts. Because I strongly believe that if we didn't have Havertz or Jesus in the first place, we actually would be in the mix of signing Isak at the moment, 100%. It kind of leads me to believe that way. I kind of cannot put into words why, but at least that's how I feel. The thing is, though, Havertz is on 285 a week. Jesus is on 265 a week. That's what? That's 550,000 a week just goes to the both of them. And if we could get them both gone, we would have open room to sign another striker or a winger, big one, big time as well. Big up a Jetty. Liverpool is going to Liverpool for 150 million now. We'll see. We genuinely will see. I'm looking that there are already rumors starting to circulate that if Isak goes to Liverpool, Newcastle are signing Sesko. Hey. We need Zubimendi, Merino, and Odegaard to get on the phone and remind Isak how good they played together at Sociedad. Get the band back together. Well, that's what you're saying, right? But they finished sixth in the league, about 30 points behind Real Madrid, who finished first that year, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, a year later they won the FA Cup, but still, not FA Cup, sorry, Copa del Rey, but still. If we want Isak, we should just go get Sesko with big money after someone's. Merino will be backup for Rice for left 8. Well, that looks that way because I don't see Merino starting at all. Mikel Biereth for 40 million. See? Do you see this? We sold Mikel Biereth for 4 million. Newcastle are going to buy him for 40 if he wanted to. I don't think you're going to get Mikel Biereth, though. There's no chance. I kind of feel that way. Rice is the reason that Trossard and Martinelli aren't good at left wing. He's not creative midfielder. Exactly. Maybe having Zubimendi on the pitch fixes that, but I doubt it doesn't. In my opinion, it doesn't. Zubimendi, if he is there, the designated 6, right? If we look position per position value, and Zubimendi is more about distributing ball from the deep, not actually pushing forward and creating in those open half spaces. Let's just put it that way. So for me personally, we need a proper left center mid, left 8. So that for me is the big issue. Sorry, but like to talk tactics, and I think we need Odegaard not to come short. We need Odegaard staying up with Saka and have Ben White overlapping. Yeah, we do. For example, one of the best ways to some extent to beat low blocks, it's not passing the ball and allow the team to basically gather together and crowd the midfield. We should be overlapping with our wing backs so they can run in behind, give the passes between the lines so we can actually maybe cross the ball across the box or cut it back. But we don't do that. We genuinely don't do that. You will not be signed. For Arteta, the 4-3-3 has become his daily bread, basically. And that, for me, is the biggest worry. Genuinely, that, for me, is the biggest worry. Because I think that time when we have to play 4-3-3 is gone. We need, for me personally, it's 4-2-3-1 double pivot. Or we should try something 3 at the back or 5 at the back type of situation going on. Unless, by the way, in this 4-3-3, we get a proper left 8 and a proper left winger. It solely also depends on personnel you use in that formation. And unfortunately, Rice is not it for that left 8 spot in terms of going forward and creativity-wise, right? He's more of a 6. And left wing spot has been ruined for centuries for us, what it feels like right now. I like that Zubimendi was in the other team box, even though he was number 6. Yeah, he also was distributing the ball very quickly. One touch pass, no touch pass, instantly. Bang, 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 bang. I love the quick movement. I absolutely loved it because Thomas Partey, as good as he was for us, maybe defensively and everything, he tended to have like a touch where he was genuinely had trees for legs, basically, a big pine tree or something like that, or oak or something. And Zubimendi, obviously, he's Spanish. He has the technical ability. He has that soft touch, if you want to put it that way. 4-3-3 every match. So, yeah, it is. That's the biggest thing. That is. Our first game of the season, United away. It's going to be wild. Whoever loses that game, their fan base is going to gain an epic meltdown after just one game. That is the big nut. That is the big. Lots of stuff riding on that game. Big up YouTube censors, by the way. But there's a lots of stuff riding on that game. Genuinely, lots of stuff riding on that game. Maybe not as much Well, obviously 3 points and everything is riding on that game, but also the fan bases, the bragging rights, the meltdown is going to be immense. If it's a draw, guarantee you already, the meltdown on Arsenal's fan base is going to be much worse than on United's fan base, right? If Arsenal win, well, it is what it is. Arsenal were expected to win. If United win, pull out your pitchforks. It's going to be riot settings to the maximum extent. Bournemouth to Man United, I'm kind of jealous. I'm not going to lie, I am too. Yeti, calm down. I think Calafiori needs to play how he played against Nottingham Forest, making overlap runs and cutting inside and shooting on his week. Like, with Calafiori, that's the weird thing. He can play like that against Nottingham Forest. He can play like that against smaller teams. As soon as he has to play against big teams, it's not going to work. If Liverpool get Isak, we must get Eze, Rodrigo, and a left back. Yeah, if they get Isak, even if they don't get Isak, let's be real, Rodrigo and Eze are a must, despite everything. Let's be real. We need big up Red Skull. We need Rodrigo. Facts. We need a left back for sure as well. Exactly. Kala needs to be in the center back spot more frequently in his position, not left back. He hasn't played there since he... Exactly. He either is a left-sided center back, or I can kind of see him as a left wing back who just goes forward, shoots, crosses the ball and everything, because he's actually very decent going forward. Defensively, as a lone left back, he is a hole. I'm not going to lie. My insane idea of offering all those players to Newcastle for Isak has more to do with wanting them off the wage bill. I totally get it. Isak cannot go to Liverpool. Well, wouldn't put my money on it. Big up Wahaha. Hope you're doing well. Big up Valeria. Why don't we spend as much as the rest when we didn't spend that much last summer in January? Like, go ask that to Kroenkes, Garlic, Lewis, and all them, man. Because it's been like that under Wenger, it's been like that under Emery, and it's been like that under Arteta. It's always like that. We're also both owned by American owners. What's the difference? Well, they don't give a damn, I guess. I would use Zini in the 8. Exactly. I would too. 10 or an 8, 100%. 8 and 8/10 are his natural positions. He plays also there for Ukraine. Because for Ukraine, they have a left back in Mikolenko, the Everton left back. So makes a lot of sense. Which is why we also call for that left back, because he's better going forward. And it also is doing more harm defensively because he's getting cooked quite a bit. Big up Valeria. Smash the likes, people, as well, if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new and everything as well. Rice 6, Zini 8, S8 10 midfield, be my way. I can see that. Rice 6. I would be interested to some extent not to see Zubimendi 6, Rice 8, but Rice 6, Zubimendi 8. I would also want to see how that looks, because that also has some potential. Big up Heroes, Mikel music in the building. Oh, Money Penny's live. Gotta go listen to some real Arsenal fans. Have fun. Hit the likes and subscribe, people. Hit the likes and subscribe. Listen to Heroes. I think against low block, we need Zubimendi if he's at 6 to get close. Yeah. Against low blocks, we need more playmakers or ball carriers. So if we sign Eze, for example, against low blocks, which will happen quite a lot, we need Zubimendi. We need Eze on the pitch. We need those type of players. We have none of those. Well, Zubimendi we do, but we don't have ball carriers. Last one we had was Emil Smith-Rowe, to be honest, to some extent. So at the moment, we have none of that. I think we are gonna beat United. I don't see how we don't beat them. Yeah, you see, this confidence, right? Remember last year, we're going to beat United. I don't see how we're not going to beat them. We lose to 10-man United in the FA Cup. Like, come on, man. We cannot be too overzealous and overconfident with these things anymore. Same went for Everton. Same went for Crystal Palace and all these teams where we lose, draw, and all this stuff. I think Gyokeres won't be scared of United, but our midfield might choke. Remember, Gyokeres cooked City. He seems determined to step up. Yeah. And let's not forget, Zubimendi got clamped and annihilated by Casemiro when they played United in the Europa League. So they have something in the locker for him, 100%. Just a well thought, but 4-4-2 with Merino as a secondary striker behind Gyokeres and dropping into midfield to overload. That, let's be real, that Merino spot, if you want to do this, is going to be occupied by Havertz. If you are Mikel Arteta, like, come on. Is Eze only enough after Gyokeres, after seeing what others are doing? Eze is not enough. We need Eze and a left winger. Ideally, we need Eze, Rodrigo, and a left back. In my opinion, we need 3 players more. Consider your actions, Jerry. I think Marino as a striker needs to play false 9. He could work, but not too sure. I mean, Bielan's idea kind of good. Exactly. If you sack Arteta, who would you replace him with? Xavi, give him a shot. Would maybe try and buy out Nagelsmann, Flick, maybe Luis Enrique, although I don't think he would want to leave. I would try to buy out one of the big managers, because most of the big managers that we have at the moment in football are getting half of what Mikel Arteta is getting right now. So money, if we are looking those terms, is not an issue in terms of salary. So we pretty much can get every single manager we want, besides Pep, Inzaghi, and maybe Simeone, but Simeone, given that Simeone, I don't think we could get as well, because according to Atletico Madrid fans, there is quite a bit of friction between Simeone and Andrea Berta to some extent. Let's just put it that way. Big up. Who are the biggest culprit then? The owners, if they don't want to spend or don't give a damn, or the manager? To be honest, both. There is not one bigger than the other. You could say it's Mikel Arteta. People will say it's Kroenke's, because both of them are at fault to an extent. Let's be real. Because we all want Kroenke's out because they don't have ambition, they don't spend money on all this stuff. At the same time, Arteta has spent like over 900 million, which means that they have given Arteta the money. Which then again now falls on Mikel Arteta, because he hasn't signed the right players. He has wasted the money on, well, let's just put it as it is, mid-table championship level players. So it falls on both of them. There is no right or wrong answer. Obviously, I want Kroenke out. I want Arteta out. They both are at fault and everything, but both are at fault to quite a few extent. Through college. So you're going to go to work? Because your mom is not going to keep you if that is the case. If you don't go to work or you don't go to college, you need to pick one. If I see it correctly, hammering gap. I feel exactly the same. How do we not beat Arsenal? I'm in the streams just to banter, drop some 2 cents on and clown mutants. Big up. Yeah, I get it. Against United near the end of the season, we needed counter-attack, Man United, because the man full back line and go at attack. But obviously, we all know that Mikel Arteta is not adaptive mid-games. That was in the cup. In the league, we will be good against. You say that, but if you remember the first game we played at home against Man United, we won 2-0. On paper, it looks great, right? But from open play, we did nothing. We scored 2 corners. Gabriel scored and someone else. We scored 2 corners. And people say the stat merchants and all these dumbasses, oh, look, we had 2.6 XG. We were a better team. But just because I wanted, I looked deeper in these stats. We had 2.1 XG from corners, which we scored 2. We had only 0.5 XG from open play, which to a big extent means from open play, we did nothing. They absolutely nullified us pretty much. We just got lucky because they arguably were one of the worst teams last season from set pieces, just like Spurs, another team, and two more teams. So we kind of got lucky in those terms. I'm keeping my expectations grounded. I think Eze is more realistic purchase. I don't see the funds to also get Rodrigo unless we sell Martinelli for 40 minimum. If there's an opportunity to sell Martinelli for 40, 50, 60 million, sell him and get Rodrigo. Like, I don't care. Like, at the end of the day, this is a football club. This is a business as well. And in business is ruthless. We all know this. There is no time for cuddling, no time for family business and all this stuff. If you cannot perform, you're fired. Another person replaces you. Let's be real. I'd like to see Timber move back. No, I don't want to see Timber as a left back ever. Ever. I'm sorry, Sean, but on this one, I definitely disagree. I don't want to see Timber at left back ever again. 100%. I might went just to Mitoma takes us over the line from there. The man don't want to see the vision, though. The owner hires the manager. They're They are the root of the problem. At the end of the day, Kroenkes are the main root of all the issues at Arsenal. Let's be real. Because they hired the manager, they hired this, that, and the other, right? At the same time, you cannot help but also say that Arteta is a problem. Because after all the money he has been given, he should have won something. We should be in a position where we should be winning stuff. We shouldn't be in a position after 6 years where we need to sign 7, 8 players in one window just to keep up appearances. And we shouldn't need 3.5 years to sign a striker. Because up until this window, we had spent 80 million to improve our attack under Mikel Arteta. Up until this window, it was 80 million. That was like, 68th ranking in Europe. Teams like Nantes, Stade Rennais were ahead of us, and all these teams. Like, that is embarrassing alone. I think we could play Zinchenko at 6 and Zubimendi. No, Zinchenko at 6 is not going to work. Zinchenko at 6 is not going to work, in my opinion. Unfortunately, Zinchenko at 6 is something similar, him as a left back. Maybe the pace is not going to be as big of an issue, but defensively, he's going to be a massive liability. Bert is showing us how out of depth Edu was, though. I know it's his first window with us, but he's already showing us that other than Rice, his signings were flops. To some extent, yeah. To be honest, Edu signed Gabriel, so we have to give him that. That was a great signing. We cannot deny that as well, to be like, just put it that way. I don't care how goals are scored. I'm pretty sure we're going to beat United, though. I hope so. I genuinely hope so. Fucking robot stats XG with a bunch of trolls. Exactly. Like, it's hella annoying. Because this is the nuts part about these XG merchants and stat merchants. Because they love to pull up all these stats as long as they fit their narrative. The thing is about it, though, they never check in-depth stats what makes up that certain stat. Because as soon as you check in-depth, it totally negates and absolutely annihilates their argument they're trying to make. Remember, Arsenal drew at Old Trafford towards the end of the season against the PS4 United team. Yes. Excuse my language. Screw it. All good. Being too cocky can be our downfall. It has been quite a few times. Let's be real. Do you think our press was good? It was decent. I think Arsenal are one of those teams. I'm not saying that because just I have an Arsenal cap on and I'm an Arsenal fan. But Arsenal are one of the most annoying teams to play when they don't have possession. Because they either going to press you or defensively they're going to shut you down. There is no in between. If you get lucky, you better score because otherwise you're not going to get any chances. In those times, defensively, we are very, very sound. And obviously defense starts at the opposing side of the pitch. I would sell Martinelli now while his name has relevance. True. But who's going to take him? You might have to be confident of beating United after we got Gyokeres. I would be confident of beating them had we only gone Sesko and Zubimendi or no as they required. Dude, I'm not that cocky. Like, I definitely not, because under this manager, you cannot be sure of anything. The reasons our press is good because definitely not. Like Martin Odegaard, he has mastered the art of looking busy, basically, because people say, oh, Martin Odegaard looked very good in this game. But ultimately, he only ran around and pressed. He didn't do anything else. He misplaced all the passes. He had the 3 key passes. 2 of them he misplaced. He had 1 shot that flew into Rose Dead, killed Grandma in the stands, hit a pigeon outside the Emirates, and all this stuff. Like, that is the big thing. Ben White looked sharp, perfect competition with Timber. Exactly. Right backs for us is fully covered, 100% as well. Left back is the other issue. Yeah, but why is Arteta here still then? Well, good shields. He shouldn't have gone. He should have, but hey. Trust the process, eh? Here is a wild card. Go get Van de Ven from Spurs and play 3-4-3 with Gabriel, Van de Ven, and Saliba as center backs. Nuts part is I can see it working. The sad part is I can never see it happening. Because Arsenal are not that type of a team. Under Wenger, they had some balls, right? Under Dean and Wenger, they had some balls. These men are pure marshmallows. Let's be real. These men are pure marshmallows. Let's just put it that way. Exactly, you would take Van de Ven. Exactly, but we need left wing and cam and left back mostly balanced and fully rotated. Exactly, we need 3 players, which is the most annoying part in the world. I would take Van der Ven as a Gabriel backup. If we play 3 at the back, all 3 can start. I want us to choose first so badly. They think they have some clout now winning BTEC Europa League. We haven't done it, so we cannot kind of chat even. If we can't beat United coming off finishing 15, then lads, what title fight are we in? Do you think we are in title race next season, looking at Liverpool and Man City and the other teams at the moment? Hell no, gets in the Odegaard with a body feint and absolutely no one fouled for it. Yeah, only thing that feint is himself, basically. He's like Havertz, trips over his own feet. Vasul, no defense, I'm going to get him out. This transfer made me want to re-download Football Manager 24. Shaking my Arteta pisses me off as a coach. Yeah, I get it. I absolutely get it. Rocha been sacked from 23. To be honest, Arteta should have been sacked when he balled that 8-point lead 100%. I just don't trust 3 at the back in the Premier League. I get it, but at the same time, it works. If you have the proper players for the system, it works. Under different manager, it also would work. Mikel Arteta is just 4-3 merchant. He has won only trophy with the 3 at the back, but then, let's be real. He is predictable, yeah. Another outrageous shot, but Odegaard at right wing, cover for Sakman, and Oreze in the roles. I rather see Odegaard in the 8, ironically enough, than rather see him in the right wing. Not gonna lie. But it makes that's the problem. These owners keeping this guy here, still knowing he's a novice. They are the problem more than so under Arteta. Yeah, that is the case. For me as well, I can sit here and say, for example, Arteta out, and let's just say Arteta goes tomorrow, hypothetical scenarios, right? I want Xavi, I want maybe try and get Nagelsmann and all these guys who are out there, which we can try and buy out, right? Out of contracts and everything. The big thing still remains. Do you trust the Cronkies that they will make the right decision to sign the proper manager? Or are they going to go for someone again unproven, so there is more time, more protection, and all this stuff? Because Kroenke signing Arteta, basically, and gave him a chance, made them in a situation where Arteta technically, Kroenke owes one. Let's just put it in those terms. It's same as Mikel Arteta. He signs Chelsea rejects, City rejects, who were out of favor in those teams. So technically, those players owe one to Mikel Arteta. So they're not going to pipe up, just like Mikel Arteta is not going to pipe up to Kroenke's. So it's basically like chain reaction in those terms. Yeah, Rip Hulk Hogan. Sad news today as well. Another legend gone. Yep. So many, Osborne, now Hulk Hogan in span of a few days. It's actually kind of insane. Rest in peace. It's not realistic to be discussing changing shape. We know Arteta plays 4-3-3 and only goes 4-2-3-1 at a push. Yeah, or 5 at the back if he wants to hold on to the lead with 10 men or something weird like that. There is nothing. Nothing. He doesn't change profile or tactics. I don't think we're in a title fight right now. Should be that our expectations should be title race, basically trophies all over the place. That would be expectations, but at the moment I don't see it. I don't see us even winning Carabao Cup or FA Cup at this stage still. Arteta's middle name is problem. Yeah. Big up, Vasul. Big up. Thanks for being here. Big up. 4-2-2. What formation is that? You're playing with 8 men. What the hell? Can't be Havertz or Merino. Hell no, the same Sunday League. Exactly. Havertz and Gyokeres in 4-4-2 or Gyokeres and Merino. I would be quite interested to see Gyokeres next to Martinelli or next to Trossard in 4-4-2, using Trossard or Martinelli as the false 9 secondary striker. I would be interested in seeing that, to be honest. That sounds quite interesting. And to be honest, I'm just going off the similar profile I have seen when France won everything. When they had Giroud and Griezmann up top, right? One big tall guy who scores goals and everything, a body, and the other one is more technical with trickery and speed and everything. I kind of thinking in those terms. Malcolm Yamal Werner, right? Yeah, lots of people are passing recently. It's kind of sad. Not the Cronkies don't give a shit about Arsenal. They spent 5 billion on LA Rams Stadium, and they have been shit ever since they won it. Yeah. And since they won the Super Bowl, not gonna lie. One of the best heel turns. Sorry, boys, I can't see Arsenal winning any majors until Arteta at the helm. Apologies, my pessimism, but that's what I've seen over the last 6 years. Fill me with zero optimism. I get it. I absolutely get it. Now, you want to see some news because otherwise there is nothing much in general to talk about. Nothing much we can say because, but the way there are some news allegedly on. Fuck's sake, I misclicked. My bad. There is nothing much to talk about in all these terms because still obviously Arsenal have announced Mosquera, right? Arsenal have signed Mosquera. That is the biggest news regarding Arsenal today. Welcome Christian Mosquera to Arsenal. Those are the biggest news. He is already training with the team. Right? And we'll see how that goes for him. He's already training with the team. Mosquera has come. He's going to play defense. He's going to play center back, maybe right back, who knows. But ultimately, that has been the biggest news regarding Arsenal in this helm. Now, the biggest thing is also Andrea Berta has spoken on Mosquera, right? And this is what he had to say. Andrea Berta on Mosquera had to say this. Very happy. We are very happy and excited that we have signed a hugely talented young player in Christian Mosquera. We identified Christian as one of the strongest young defenders in European football, and he is an important signing for our future. So this is what Andrea Berta had to say in terms of Christian Mosquera. Some other news, which actually is in favor of Arsenal. Noni Madueke has been reclassified as a homegrown player because he came from Spurs Academy, then he went to PSV, then back to Chelsea and everything. After a request submitted before the end of 24-25, the winger spent 3 seasons in Spurs' youth setup, but his lack of first-team appearances created a discrepancy. This is good news. I'm not going to lie. Not the fact that we have Madueke, but the fact that he has been reclassified as a homegrown player. Because Arsenal had a bit of an issue with English homegrown players having in their team, despite having some promoted players, right? We still needed one, I think. And the fact that Madueke has been reclassified kind of helps Arsenal in terms that they are freely can sign one that is a foreign player, which obviously gives us room to wiggle in terms of signing a one bigger outside player that is not from basically England. Let's just put it that way. Obviously, Gyokeres is doing medicals very soon. Let's just put it that way. And this is I would argue, the biggest news. Some of the biggest news. According to Graham Bailey, Ebricheze has told his friends that he's going to join Arsenal this summer. And this is a very bold statement that if this is true or if this falls through. Like, this is a very bold statement no matter how you look at it. Graham Bailey, it's a 50-50 one, I'm not going to lie. But if he has said that, like, it's pretty much quoting him. It's pretty much quoting Ebricheze. Like, that for me is the big thing. Is this legit? Because so far in the transfer window, 99.9% of transfer news have been all crap. All BS, all lying, and all this stuff. I'm not gonna lie. By the way, people, smash the likes and subscribe. If you're new around here, do me that favor. Let's push for 30 likes today. Let's push for 30 likes. Big up Vatul. Hope you had a nice meal. Kepa might have been good signing in the long run if he's our cup keeper. Could be pivotal if we go to penalties. Could be. But how often do we go to penalties, though? Yeah, man, I hate... I'm not talking about WWE right now. Come on, boys. We will change for the title and the other... we will challenge. To be honest, technically speaking, everyone's challenging. Let's be real. If you're in competition, technically you are challenging. But for Arsenal, the issue that comes with being an team like Arsenal, you are expected to get final at least minimum. Despite having Liverpool and City there and all these teams, you are expected, because we are that big of a team. And there comes the big issue. Because Mikel Arteta's record getting us to finals is embarrassing. We have scored 1 goal in last 7 semi-final appearances across all competitions. 1 goal or 1 or 2 goals in last 7 semi-final appearances across all competitions. For me, that is a massive issue, to say the least. If Madueke is homegrown, the time is up for Martinelli. Yeah. Yep. Is this legit? Go figure. Genuinely go figure. Mosquera will be back right center back cover, and he knows coming he had limited playing time behind Saliba 100%. He played 6,400 minutes over the last 2 seasons. It's actually be good for him to rest. True, 3,200 minutes on average. That's about what? 40, 35. I would say about 37 games overall during the season, if you include cup games, because you're Valencia, so only cup games and season games. Like it's quite a lot for him, definitely. I know I refuse to entertain reports. I want to see medical and shirt. Fact, same. To be honest, same. I want to see medicals and I want to see a shirt. 100%. If Eze come, he could play as the number 8 or 10. Eze would be fantastic as a 10 instead of Odegaard. What I see is that Mosquera needs to improve his passing and aerial duels. Yeah, there are those. 100%. There are some of those. But obviously, the biggest news still, despite everything, is the fact that where is it? Where is it? I need to see it. Where is it? Jorel Hato is not even on the bench for Ajax tonight after he informed the club about his desire to join Chelsea. So Hato to Chelsea is pretty much happening. Unfortunately, let's just put it that way. Mosquera is officially announced. Ter Stegen confirms he'll undergo surgery, so he's not going to leave Barcelona. Lol. Obviously, it's not great, but yeah. Here we go. Isak. Those are the biggest news at the moment, because Alexander Isak absolutely shook the world to some extent by announcing to a certain level that he wants to leave Newcastle. That now is one of the biggest talking points you can ever imagine. Alexander Isak wants to leave Newcastle. And now the cogwheels start to turn. What is gonna happen? Genuinely, what is going to happen? Eze is an easy 10 player. I want him to either shame Odegaard or bring the best out of Odegaard. True, but looking at how our youngsters played, Vanieri and Dauman, they already look better than Odegaard in the first game. Honestly, now, given the current transfer climate and how teams are shaping up for next season, I call a domestic double FA Cup, Carabao Cup a successful season for us. UCL semi and league top 3. The sad part is we are not going to do that. We're not going to get any cups. I don't see it at the moment. We will regret not signing Hato. Yep, we will. We need another left back, and we don't have that. Arteta won't play as a left center mid. He wants that player to be left-footed. Give me a sec. What the fuck is happening here? For fuck's sake, stupid commercials. I absolutely hate commercials. Sorry. Freaking hell. Give me a sec. Absolutely hate commercials. Yeah, but overall, yeah, it's actually kind of nuts. Like, he wants that left-footed midfielder, but why not put Skelly there then and sign a proper left back and shut up shop, and that's about it? Like, it makes no sense. Biggest regret not signing Hato, a big left back who have been sorted. Him, Skelly would have been our future. Skelly would have been our midfielder. As a left 8, I think that would have been fantastic. Lol, let Hato go. Everyone talk down the need to sign him over the previous 2 seasons. He's gone now. Nobody talk him down. Don't say everyone. Don't say everyone. You cannot speak for everyone. If we play Eze at the left wing, then we can play Martinelli as a striker. I don't want to see Eze left wing. I don't envision Eze as a touchline winger. It really pains me that people say that Eze will be a left winger, because that will genuinely ruin about 30% of Eze's productivity. Against Liverpool with his Joe, maybe. I also want to see our club to confirm Wangieri contract extension. Nothing's for sure until the club confirms. Yeah, but it's done. It's gonna be done. It's gonna be done. There are some things like there are some things where at certain point you kind of get it and you can see that it's gonna happen. And Wangieri is about to happen. Gyokeres as well. Like there is no chance of them failing. The other question is Bukayo Saka's extension and Saliba's extension. Those are the ones that really, really makes me very uneasy. Or they don't want the burden on Wangieri or Dauman. Remember, I don't want as well. I don't want as well. Exactly. Yeah, they said that. I get it. But at the same time, Arsenal have the history of doing that. Like, with Cesc, with Wilshere, with Ramsey, with all these guys, just put them in at 2 years old pretty much and they carry the team. Jamal not damaged though, and Jamal is good. We are too soft for ambitions. Yeah. Big up Most Wanted. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Good day, bro. How are you? I'm good. I think Isak waited to tell Newcastle for Saudi he wants the back. He doesn't want Saudi. Apparently, I don't remember who said this. Who said this? I genuinely forgot. Fabrizio or someone that he doesn't want Saudi. He doesn't. Two clubs injured was Liverpool and Arsenal have strikers now. Yeah, but he doesn't want Saudi apparently. So that for me is the biggest thing. And there are also some vague rumors floating around that FSG already have signed off 140 million for Isak. So we could see some bids going in soon. Also random, but any reason why Katuri wasn't included in Asia tour? He's a pretty decent center back coming out of our academy. I assume that's because, Mosquera is joining us. I think that was the only reason. Seriously, because right back we don't have Timber. We basically have Ben White only, so hence why the other one, Nichols, went there. So I think that it goes in those terms. Jamal is the exception, not the rule. Yeah, he is. Definitely. If we get a left back, who would sign as left back? Well, Hato was there. Some people want Theo Hernandez, but I'm not so sure about that one. There is, what's his face? Oh, I forgot his name now. Obviously, Menj would be fantastic, but I want an out-and-out left back. I don't want these makeshift type of left backs who can play like striker and coach and all this stuff. Like that is the biggest thing. Saka, he's been in the team since he was 16. Yeah, Saka has been carrying the team since he was genuinely a kid. Big up, Richard. Hope you're doing well today. Big up, Richard. Saka will extend, but I have a sneaky feeling Saliba won't extend, or we'll make sure he has a release clause in the. Arsenal don't do release clauses, so I'm not so sure Arsenal will sign off for that. Arsenal genuinely don't do release clauses whatsoever. Seriously, I don't remember Arsenal having a player who has a release clause in his contract. Don't remember one. If you know one, you can refresh my memory on that, but I genuinely don't remember any signing Arsenal has had or any player that has a proper and out-and-out release clauses where anyone can come in and just get him. Wangieri is good enough to be starting already. He is good enough. He has started 100%, but yeah. But his stamina is still the thing that's letting him down. He cannot play about 5-6 games in a row. He looked very gassed after some time. Dauman will probably be ready by December or March, or at least starting games. I hope Dauman plays a few games 100% for the main team. We have proper talents. The issue with the talents we have is they play in positions where Arteta's love boys play. Odegaard and Saka. Obviously, Saka is a bit different, but mostly Odegaard. They both can play as a 10. So Odegaard, like his love child, he's not going to get dropped. Saka needs a backup. So we have that with Wangieri, even Dauman if he wants to. So there are those positions. I think Paulinho from Barn is what Arsenal are interested in. Could be Arsenal apparently were interested in Paulinho before we signed Norgard. We wanted Paulinho about 3 years ago as well. but we are not getting him, I think. 25 likes, people. Big up to you all. Subscribe and like the stream as well if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new. We are going towards those 900 subscribers. A lot of people were adamant we didn't need another defender when Hato was mentioned. A lot of people, exactly. It got dark quick with Tomiyasu deal getting cancelled and KT going to Celtic, exactly. Because at the time you could kind of see the reasons if he played Kieran Tierney, if he was playing the necessary players, but he didn't. That is on Arteta. And even last season, going into the season, I also was one of those people who said that of all the positions in the team, defense looked the most solid one because it had actually the best strength and quality of players. And even that basically got very ropey towards the end part of the season because we didn't have backups, and the signings we had made were shocking. Big up AFC always. Have you seen Gyokeres' interview on reacts to officially joining Arsenal? Not once did he mention Arteta. It was Berta. Big up to him. Big up to him. Get Arteta out. Maybe Gyokeres could push Arteta out somehow. Hopefully sign Eze and Rodrigo. There I will say, let's go tell. Exactly. If we want to be a serious club, if we want to react like a serious club to Liverpool, what we are witnessing, to City, what we are witnessing, and all this stuff, we should go out and sign Eze and Rodrigo. But Arsenal are not a serious club. If it makes sense, Arsenal won't do it. That's what I always say. Big up, BBK. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Big up, big up, big up, big up. Great stream today. Didn't chat too much. I didn't chat at all, to be honest, in your stream. I was just lurking in the backgrounds and all this stuff. Go subscribe to BBK as well, my people. Go, go, go. Maybe PSG or Madrid going as well for Isak. Anything's possible. I personally don't think Liverpool can sign Isak with Darwin still being there. Not too sure. If they push him out, it could happen. Yeah. Gyokeres is happening. Not sure about 14, but might be. If we get Paulinho, then he could help us on our left side. But Paulinho is a number 6. What are we doing here? I don't think Antoine. I don't think Antoine on left back would be a bad option. Could send Zinchenko to the other way. Even Nelson. Yeah, Robinson would be decent. 100%. We could have tried maybe Tyreek Mitchell even as a backup. From Crystal Palace. He was a free agent. Obviously, he's not right now. And obviously, the most obvious option was to keep Kieran Tierney and start him. But obviously, Arteta is a dumbass, for fuck's sake. Yeah, love boys. So they can convince Isak if they offer him big money, if they offer him 750 grand a week. Obviously, but I don't think he wants to go himself. Like, seriously. But if they can loan him kind of back, like, that's the weird thing. Grimaldo from Bayer Leverkusen. Isn't he more of a left wing back, though? Although he's Spanish, Arteta loves that, so we all know how that could go. Unless Mikel Arteta wants to go to Chelsea and buy Ben Chilwell. Do you think Ian Matson would be good? No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. The hype on him is way past due. I think Saka should get some rest in the cup games, but will Arteta rest Saka? No. Maybe if push comes to shove on occasion, but overall, no. If Bukayo Saka can walk, he will play. If he can hop on one leg, he will even play. Like there's no remorse. I'm pretty sure Dom and Magyeri consider themselves the exception to the rule. If something has a 9% failure rate, they would beat themselves. Yeah, they would back themselves. That's what I love about these youngsters. They come from Highland. They play with hunger, determination. They play for the badge. And they don't give a toss about anything. Hence why they look so good. And my worry is that the longer Mikel Arteta stays here, the bigger chances are those things that are going to get coached out of them by Mikel. To be really honest, I might get hate for this, but I prefer us to get Gyokeres over Isak. Oh, no. You're definitely not. I'm glad that we finally signing him. If Isak goes to another club, that's fine by me, as long as it's not Premier League. Yeah, as long as it's not Premier League, that is the big if. Yeah, Rip Hulk Hogan. Sad news again today. Sad news. Ranieri doesn't have to play 5 games in a row. Yeah, I get it. 100%. There are definitely will be quite a few games there when Ranieri can't start. There's always the big question: will Arteta start him? Because there have been countless games where Odegaard drops stinkers and nobody plays instead of him. Ranieri doesn't play. Even when Odegaard was injured, Ranieri didn't play. He played Merino there, Havertz there, Trossard there, everyone there besides Ranieri. Here's BBK's link. Go subscribe, people. Show him some love. Bruno Guimaraes. Oh, that would be the ideal signing. How did we screw that one up is actually kind of insane. Apparently, Edu wanted Bruno Guimaraes, but Arteta said no, he doesn't. Arteta didn't want him. Newcastle have certified themselves, and kinda. Arteta might sign Mudryk when his ban is up. Dude, don't give them ideas, please. Don't think Isak wants to leave Europe. Exactly, I feel the same way. He wants to play in Champions League to be considered one of the best strikers. Exactly, I kind of feel that way. We wouldn't need a left back if Calafiori had convinced anyone. But truthfully, playing actual Calamari instead of Calafiori might be more convincing. Exactly. Playing a Zucchini as a left back would be more convincing. Would be shocked if Calafiori stayed ahead of Kivior in depth chart at left back and center back. I think Kivior has that left center back spot now on lock, based on last season's performances, and even this preseason, how he played, how he assisted. Monieri will probably get a lot of time in domestic cups. He will. I think Monieri might get more time as well in Premier League. When we're going to play these smaller teams, potentially he might get quite a few game time as well. Potentially. But that's just my speculation. I have a tactic channel, not in YouTube, but I think Norgard needs him. Norgard, but that's Norgard. Like, he's a 6. He needs to, but it's too late kind of for him. He's 31, unfortunately. Imagine having a front three of Rodrigo, Gyokeres, Saka, and Eze in the 10. That would genuinely send shivers down my spine. Because that literally would be the best attack what I have seen since Pires, Henry, Bergkamp, Lundberg, and all those time days. That would be the best attack I would have seen at Arsenal since those times. And that was 20 plus years ago. Seriously. I'm saying that with no shame whatsoever. Tears would be streaming down my eyes. Douglas Luiz is leaving Juventus. Remember, we wanted him, for 35 million. Then we didn't sign him. He extended the deal, and 6 months later, he went to Juventus. That was fun. Fact, Sean Calafiori. He is. I think if Dauman is good enough to play, let him cook. But manager like Arteta will be our cook. He's going to overcook it. He's going to burn it and everything. Arteta couldn't cook an omelet. Arteta genuinely couldn't cook up cereal for breakfast. As long as Saka is in a wheelchair, Arteta is playing him. Fact, 100%. Against low block, we need Kivior to found through passes. Maybe. Where was I? Norgard would be a great for FA Cup and League Cup. Potentially, But let's be real, we were 7-1 up against PSV, and he still didn't play Kivior. I think if Eze comes in, Monieri will play less in the league. Well, it depends where Eze plays, because for me, he's a 10 for Arteta. He might be a left winger, obviously. But we still don't know what's its face. Madueke is going to play. I think the contract was signed because they said he would play more centrally. That was one of the main things that Monieri and his agent demanded. More game time and more game time through the middle. That is it. Arteta cannot afford to bench him, especially if he shows up Odegaard most of the time. Ethan can easily be Saka backup, but he wants through the midfield. He's a 10. Monieri has said that himself. I am a 10. In under 21s, I played as a 10. Under Mikel Arteta, I only played as a right wing because he needed someone to play there. But I want to play in a 10. He said that in an interview last season. Ethan always been cooking. He always cooks. When we'll play as I would be probably. I have to go. Big up, Asul. Thank you for being here. Big up, my guy. Big up. See you tomorrow, 100%. See you all tomorrow as well. And I think as well, just like Wasul is leaving, I might be leaving as well right now because tomorrow's Friday. I need to prepare for that. Buying Eze and playing him left wing would be a mistake. Facts. It would be a mistake. Yes, for Crystal Palace, he drifts out to the left, but still he drifts back into midfield and he plays. He's most dangerous through the midfield carrying the ball. If Arteta wants to make him a touchline winger, he's going to make Jack Grealish out of him and arguably ruin him to the maximum extent. We need Ethan over Odegaard. Facts. ASAP. Arsenal will end up getting Douglas Costa instead of Luis. Dude, Head, we are favorites to win an FA Cup. What? Yeah, right. Great stream. Wish to engage you someday on a panel. Yeah, someday we could. 100%. One day. Trying to figure things out still. Maybe one day. So for now, I just say I put on stream people I know, other streamers and YouTubers. At some point, I will definitely have maybe some call-in shows. If you do get Eze, I want to see midfield of Rice, Eze, Odegaard. I want to see Ew. No, not so sure. Two creatives, though, that I want to see, but with all the Garden in the 8, that still makes me uneasy a bit. Then we are in agreement of them. But yeah, people, I think for today I'm gonna be signing off. It's Friday, it's Thursday, not Friday. Sorry, it's Thursday. Need to relax, want to chill before tomorrow, last day of week of work. I want to prepare for that, and tomorrow we will see what tomorrow brings. Tomorrow's Friday, so maybe we will get some more positive news. Hopefully we sign Isak. Hopefully we go in for Rodrigo, because I want to see us making some proper signings as well. If you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new around here. Have a nice evening. Try to relax and chill. Hopefully tomorrow brings some great news regarding Arsenal. Have a great day tomorrow. Enjoy Friday, and hopefully see you all tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we might even see Gyokeres announced. That is the hope, and he flies to Singapore to play maybe against Newcastle in second half, and against Spurs maybe full time. So we'll have to wait and see. Big up, people. Big up. Have a nice evening. See you all tomorrow. Peace.